Alright, Caterpillar D8H track adjuster rebuild. So a little bit longer video, also with the panoramic aspect instead of the vertical aspect of the camera. So if you want to watch those short videos, it gives you a little bit of background about rebuilding the track adjuster on this old Caterpillar D8H. But I'll go a little slower and give a little more detail. Find the alligator clip. Find the track link with the alligator clip. And then find the corresponding track bolts to that track. I think they're 1 1/8. And if you get a big 3/4 inch drive ratchet or breaker bar and then slide another piece of pipe or bar on there, you can break them loose. It's not too bad. And then the track will actually come apart pretty easily. You might be able to do this job without taking the track apart and without moving the idler forward. Maybe if I do the other side, I'll try it that way. But you know, there's not a lot of folks that know too much about these old machines. And you know, like machines of the same vintage, maybe the track adjusters are set up the same. But it's tough to find people to work on heavy equipment. And even really good mechanics don't know everything about every machine. So finding guys that have the experience and the knowledge and the time and the willingness to help with an old machine like this, it's really tough. And you know, there's a lot of hesitancy and anxiety about just kind of tearing into something, you know, without really knowing what you're doing. So I had an 84-year-old friend come out here and help me with this and kind of point me in the right direction. And I watched some YouTube videos. So with all of those things, I was able to realize that, hey, we've got to take the track adjuster apart right here. And, you know, you've got to watch out. Do not remove this pressure relief bolt, valve, whatever you want to call it, under pressure. So since my adjuster was mostly blown out, and there wasn't a lot of grease in there, and I'd moved the cylinder pretty freely back and forth, we were confident that it wasn't too scary to remove this. And so I broke each of these loose, and you could actually wiggle this one and tell that there wasn't a lot of pressure behind it. So my friend Dan Tucker took this one loose. But be careful if you're going to fool around with those things. But anyway, what you're after is getting into these this hydraulic cylinder. So this is actually a cylinder that goes inside another cylinder. But inside the cylinder that we're concerned with is this piston right here. Okay, and it's going to be pushed way back in there, and you're just going to see the tip of it. And the tip has a circlip and some seals right here. I've removed the seals and removed the circlip already, and then I put a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver right here where the circlip seats, and pried against the housing and was able to carefully, slowly move this piston out of this cylinder, because it's not enough just to get that front part of it exposed, but you want the whole thing exposed so that you can also replace this seal and this seal. If you're going this far, you might as well go just a little bit farther and spend just a little bit more money and replace everything. My 84-year-old friend who's been around these things for 50 years, he was a little forgetful, and he was happy when we just finally figured out, oh, we've got to take these two seals and this circlip. He kind of forgot about breaking this apart, and we were trying to move the whole assembly past where the idler is and where the main bar, I don't even know what that bar is called, that runs under the dozer and connects each side. But fortunately, the front idler assembly did not have to go past that portion, and I don't think it could, but he was a little confused, and we were trying to get it past there for a while. I don't think it's really physically possible without unbolting that idler assembly and that assembly that is like the main suspension bar or push bar. I can't even think what the word is. The main bar, crossbar for the dozer. You don't want to fool with that stuff if you don't have to. But anyway, it's a lot simpler. Like I said, you may be able to do this job without taking the track loose. Anyway, there's 6 bolts that connect these 2 pieces. That exposes the cylinder. You've got a circlip, a couple seals below the circlip, and 2 seals there. So a little bit more detail on how to rebuild the tracks on a D8H, how to rebuild the track adjusters. There's not a lot of videos out there. I learned by watching someone else's D4D video. Fortunately, there was enough carryover. So hopefully this helps someone. I'll keep you updated how the process goes.